Hey everybody, we're back. So we finished off Unica's story. I didn't press anything there. We finished off Unica's story yesterday on East Origin. I was going to start a new game. Unlike a bunch of my recent stuff, this isn't actually a first playthrough. I've played Dead Space before. I've played and beaten Dead Space before. Thank you. I never finished Dead Space 2 and I've only ever played the demo of Dead Space 3. So, we do Dead Space now and then I can start Dead Space 2 at any point. Maybe actually finish that game at some point. Alright. Actually playing this with a new controller today as well. So we're playing this on Xbox One, but I'm using a Series X/S controller that I picked up, which are fully compatible with them. Very nice controller. It's almost exactly the same as the Xbox One controller, maybe slightly heavier. Like the back of it has like nice grip texture to it. The D-pad feels quite nice. It's different. It has a dedicated share button that I'm probably never going to use. Triggers have little grip textures on them. It's a nice controller. It's good to have a second controller for the Xbox. Primary mission assets: Isaac Clarke, Kendra Daniels, Zach Hammond. These are not the only characters on the ship, but they're the only ones we care about.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing.
How many times you watched that thing? Guess you really miss her. Don't worry, we're almost there.
As rude as hell to eavesdrop on me, Kendra.
Sounds like you do have a lot of catching up to do.
Alright, everyone, we're here. Sinking our orbit now.
All this trouble over that chunk of rock.
Deep space.
Yeah, there's Zach, there's Kendra, I'm Isaac. The two pilots we don't care about.
According to prospectors' reports. Cobalt, silicon, osmium. Now, where is she? There she is. We have visual contact.
The concept of this is interesting.
Impressive.
If we do manage to achieve space
Biggest planet cracker in her
by
class.
off-world colonization,
Why is it all dark? I don't see any running
our
lights.
current rate of
Corporal, take us in closer
expansion,
and stay clear of that debris field. We're here to fix
that would increase exponentially. We would just end up ripping planets open for the resources.
Maintenance team of the USG Kellyan responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura.
It's a fascinating idea,
We're gonna
if
need to boost the
horrifying.
signal if our power's low.
Yes, we know. Boost the signal. More.
Never heard of a total communications blackout on one of these things. You'd think with 1,000 people on board, someone would pick up the phone.
You know, I don't think there's enough good sci-fi horror in gaming.
What is that?
It's a busted array like we thought. Sounds like they're having problems with their encoder. You get us down there and Isaac and I can fix it. 48 hours max.
All right, you heard the lady. Take us in. Let's see what needs fixing.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automatic docking procedures a go.
Oh, that was interesting.
What the hell?
Sir, the auto dock.
What is it?
We're off track. We're gonna hit the hull.
Hit the blast shields. Their guidance tether's damaged. Switch to manual, now.
Inside the magnetic field? Are you insane? Abort!
No! We can make it inside. Corporal, gave you an order.
The field's too strong.
Yeah, I feel like there's not enough good sci-fi horror in gaming, because you can do anything with it.
Were you trying to get us killed?
just saved our asses, Miss Daniels. If we had a
You
board
can do anything with it without having to resort to
right into
magic.
the side of Ishimura. Now settle down. Let's get to work. Corporal, report.
I'm not getting any readings from the port booster, and we've lost comms and autopilot. It'll take some time to fix.
All right. Let's get some extra hands from flight deck to help out.
Hold still, Isaac. I'm syncing up everyone's rig with the ship. Okay, we're done. Clean bill of health for everyone.
All right. We've still got a job to do. We're moving out.
The interesting thing with Dead Space, how it completely forgoes a traditional HUD. Like our health bar is on our back. But that's not a thing unique to us, you can see it on everybody else's. It's kind of a cool idea. And all HUD-related things are holograms that it's shown that other people can see.
You didn't lose power to the port booster. You lost the port booster. Unbelievable.
Employee to the USG Ishimura. The Ishimura was the first planet
I didn't Kendra have a spine health bar. I thought she did.
52 years of continuous service. It holds the record for highest number of planet cracks, with 34 to date, and highest dead
Guess the
weight
power's
for
down
a
everywhere.
product and 40
Isaac, get over here and hack the door pad.
Whether you'll be joining us for the Ishimura or
Look for blue holograms to activate.
colony, the captain and crew would like to welcome you,
Yeah.
and we hope your stay is a pleasant
I forgot how weird this control feels. Like, it's not bad, it just feels... I don't know, chunky?
Seems like everyone was trying to pack in a hurry.
There should be a security detail in here.
Yeah? Well, there's not. There's nobody here. I can't pick up any broadcasts.
Where's the other guy?
The security console
There
is
he,
still
there
live.
he is.
Isaac, log in and see what you can find. Kendra, get that elevator back online.
I can't.
Then reroute the damn power. Look, if we all cooperate, we can figure this out a lot sooner. Let's get that computer display up, Isaac.
And just being very abrasive.
To find your next objective.
And like, out there, not really anything to be so tense about, I think. She came in here and saw all his blood, sure. But it feels like she knows she's in a horror situation before the horror started.
Huh, that doesn't look good. She's taken a lot of damage.
The tram system's offline. Getting around's gonna be difficult. The air seems to be flowing again. That's a start.
What the hell was that?
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted. Everybody relax.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Not sure.
The hell? I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Jesus! Open fire! Open fire! Get the power! Get up!
Come on. Got it!
Isaac, get the hell out of there!
The door's unlocked!
Run.
Run, Isaac! Get the hell out of there!
That's a good one. The game has a lot of horror ideas going for it. how well it succeeds is up to personal interpretation. It's very on the nose. Like that. And the fact that it just tells you that. There. Yeah, the game's very on the nose with a lot of its horror. The fact that we've gotten a full frontal look at the monster already. It's not a bad thing, it's just not very subtle. Which, like I say, not a bad thing. But it leads to me feeling this is more... This isn't survival horror, it's very much action horror. Because now that we've got the plasma cutter, we're capable of taking down basically everything. Like, the plasma cutter is a ridiculously viable weapon. To the point where there's an achievement for beating the game with only using that. Yeah. There's an achievement for beating the game only using the plasma cutter. And it's very doable.
Everybody listen up. They're using the vents. That's how they're getting around the ship. Stay away from down. Get back. Get back.
Isaac! Isaac! God, I can't believe you made it.
Isaac, we ran into more of them on the way over here. Are you okay?
More what? What the hell are those things? Is that the crew?
Waving at them.
Keep your voice down. Whatever they are, they're not friendly, and half the doors on this ship are locked because of the quarantine. Now, we have to get to the bridge, but first, we gotta repair the tram system.
You're crazy, Hammond. You're gonna get us all killed.
If you listen to me, I will get you out of here alive. Now, what's wrong with the tram?
The data board is fried, but there should be a spare in the maintenance bay. There's also a broken tram blocking the tunnel that needs to be repaired. Damn it! Everything is on the other side of this quarantine. We can't reach it from here.
No, we can't. But you can. Isaac, if I can get to the bridge, I should be able to access the personnel files. You fix the tram, and I'll help you find Nicole.
It's a weird play to make, considering, like...
To check objectives and important locations.
It should be a case of, like, you know, fix the tram, and we can get out of here sooner. I don't think you need to pull the whole thing of, like, yeah, I can help you do this thing. So, when I first played this game, I spent the entire game walking around like this. Because it's incredibly viable. Plus, there are dark areas, and this is the only way to actually use the flashlight. That meant there were a lot of scenes like that where the comm screen pops up. Where, like, you can't actually see it. Because if you're aiming, comm screen doesn't pop up. If you're doing anything, the comm screen doesn't pop up. Try and pull that with me, will you?
This is Benson, Tram Engineering. We think we figured it out. Smith killed one. Listen, forget about shooting him in the body. You gotta cut off the limbs. Grab a cutter, anything like that. Cut him apart!
Yeah.
Isaac, be careful. Shooting them in the body didn't seem to work. Go for the limbs. Dismember them. That should do the job.
So, when I say very on the nose, I mean, like, this is like the 5th time now. It's like, okay, you get the plasma cutter and there's blood on the wall saying cut off the limbs. I'm pretty sure the thing says when you pick up the plasma cutter, cut off the limbs. There's that separate audio log that we just got that says cut off the limbs. Hammond just called us up and said cut off the limbs, and now there's this thing popping up saying cut off the limbs. There's 5 times. I have to give the game credit, it does atmosphere really well. And when you're just roaming and nothing's happening, it's got a fantastic atmosphere. It's just that doesn't often last. Because the game very regularly just throws monsters at you.
Looks like that door is malfunctioning, Isaac. Try using the stasis module you just picked up.
I can't vent there. You play the game for a little while and you start to know the specific locations enemies will pop out of. Because it's always something like this kind of vent. Doesn't mean they'll always pop out of one. That was good. Give him that. Made better by the fact nothing happened. Use the bathroom. So I always felt like Dead Space was like the natural follow-up to RE4. More so than like RE5 was. And RE5's good. Never going to argue that it's not. It's a lot of fun. But this game actually tries to do horror more than RE5 does. God, I remember the RE5 thing was supposed to be like daylight horror. And it never succeeds at that. And it feels like it never really tries. Yeah, you can see the RE4 influences on this. The over-the-shoulder camera.
The module should be able to help you with that arm mechanism.
Aiming. The fact that you can move while aiming. And every weapon has an alternate fire mode to give you a little more out of it. Yep. That's one of the game's biggest problems. The main reason I knew that guy was there was because of the musical sting.
We managed to get it back to the repair depot, but now the autoloader is fried. I need a stasis module brought down here now. If we don't get this piece of shit off the tracks, it's gonna jam up the whole system.
Thank you.
Replacing damaged tram car. Please stand by.
Isaac, you did it.
Yeah, you aim,
the tram
that
is
goes
blocking
away.
the whole system. When you get the computer online, you'll be able to call the tram from the control room. Faster the better. I can hear something crawling around out there.
There we go.
Tram replacement
Sure, I had another one. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a horror game on stream. There we go.
Isaac, I've patched into the deck security system. It took some work, but I've got the door to the maintenance bay unlocked. The data board should be somewhere inside.
Alright, further this way.
Isaac, it's Kendra. It looks like the door to the storage room is locked. There should be a key somewhere in the maintenance bay.
Oh, stream's disconnected. Why does it keep doing that lately? There we go. I don't know why stream keeps disconnecting like that lately. Not even as though we're getting frame drops, it's just outright disconnecting. Frustrating. Alright. Yeah, the game controls really well though. Like, aiming always feels pretty simple. Pretty good. I was distracted because I thought I saw something move up there. This is actually really good use of shadows and light. That swinging back and forth, moving shadows, puts you on edge. Small movements out of the corner of your eye. Yeah, the game translated really well. RE4's tight controls, tight aiming. Even when moving, like, it's really good. It's a shame that that's something that feels like Capcom lost when it went to RE7. Awesome. Nothing important. Yeah, sci-fi horror. I really like sci-fi horror. I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. In simple, smart ways. Without overcomplicating everything with just the explanation of, oh, it's magic, anything could happen. Well, don't get me wrong, I like that kind of horror. It just feels like that kind of explanation is rarely used for horror. And it's magic, anything could happen, so it's an adventure, maybe with some dark overtones. It's rarely horror. Which is a shame. And now we get to the issue of inventory. Alright. I don't know, I have said in the past, like, some horror is better if it's not explained. Get bored.
Use power nodes to upgrade your weapons and rigs.
Okay, if we upgrade the rig... No. Right, it's not upgrading the rig that increases inventory space, it's other suits. Got it. Alright. There we go. To the power node. It's a decent upgrade system as well. Like, this kind of idea, RE4 probably had the best upgrade system.
Take the board back to tram control and slot it into the computer array. That should get the tram system back online.
Sneaky, distracting me with the video call. Thank you. Yeah, game like this, RE4 probably had like the best upgrade system. RE5 dropped the ball with that. And RE6 was just awful. I say that, I don't mean RE6 is awful, I mean RE6's upgrade system is awful. So the upgrade system in this is pretty decent. Got increasingly arcade. Yeah. How you doing, T? I feel like one of the issues in RE5 was just money. RE4, the game feels balanced, gives you enough money for reasonable upgrades. RE5, like, money takes you so little space. Like, you get so little out of the money in RE5. Then RE6 has the 3-point upgrades.
Computer now online. Shipwide tram system reinitialized.
There we go.
All trams now operational. Tram arriving at flight deck station. Quarantine lifted.
All right, we're on board and heading to the bridge. Good work.
Strange. The quarantine just lifted.
Whatever was in the flight lounge must have left. That's lucky for us. Isaac, get back to the Kellion and prep it for launch. We'll find out what we can from the bridge and meet you there.
If we live that long, you're out of your league, Hammond. This is suicide. We're going to die up here.
Your lack of confidence in me is duly noted, Miss Daniels. But I have a mission to complete, and that's exactly what I am going to do, with or without you. Do we understand each other?
Just get us out of here alive.
I feel like the idea is that you're supposed to agree with Kendra on this, but she always comes across as so abrasive. While Hammond always just seems like he's trying to do the job and keep everybody alive. always got to watch out for that. This game loves to blindside you like that.
Isaac, we made it to the bridge. It's a nightmare up here. No survivors. We're going to try to get to the command computer. Wish us luck.
They love to distract you with something in front of you while something behind you comes up to kill you. The bodies are gone. I don't think that actually means anything. I think they just unloaded the bodies. Yeah. Oh crap.
Collision detected in the main hangar bay. Emergency crews have been notified.
Come on, stop playing around back there.
What the hell is happening down there? What happened to the shuttle?
Those are at home.
Hey, Whitey Batty, how you doing, buddy?
Kendra.
No, Hammond! This changes everything!
Just let me think. Can you access the command computer?
It's no good. There's an executive lockdown of all primary systems. Without the captain's authorization, I can't access them.
Well, where's the captain?
He did.
Here he is. Captain Benjamin Matthias. Location? Med lab. Status? Deceased.
What? How?
Yeah, doing alright.
I can't access that information. Find the captain
Start
and
a
you'll
new
find his
game.
rig. With his authorization codes, I can crack this computer wide open.
Getting in the mood for it. It's good stuff.
Isaac, I'm sending the tram back to your location. Get to the medical deck and find that rig as fast as you can.
What was that?
Dead Space remake. I don't feel like Dead Space needs a remake. I feel like it's fine. I feel like the main reason to remake games is because, like, mostly controls, I think, would be the main reason. Like, Dead Space controls really well. If you get an Xbox, you can play it on current gen hardware, which is really nice. Yeah, that's one of the things that I like about, like, sci-fi horror. It's one of the easiest things to... In horror, there's always the question of, like, why don't you just get out of there? And in sci-fi, it's one of the easiest things to do. It's just like, oh yeah, no, we're in space, and there's no way out. The ship we were on has just blown up. You can't get out. Like, you want to do that on a contemporary setting, like a boat? Do it on a ship, maybe? Which isn't a bad idea, that in itself can work. Like, you want to do it on land? A small island? Maybe?
Buy new weapons and items at the store, and place extra items in the safe.
You put it in a house, and like, the bigger the house, the harder it can be to justify. I don't have any power nodes, do I? No. Rage face. It's, oh, why don't you just break open a window? Yeah, Dead Space is still good. Honestly, a lot of stuff, I'd say from like the PS2 generation onwards, I don't think needs to be remade in a lot of ways. Just like competently ported. Oh, absolutely. Like, you want to talk about like the history of Dead Space. Visceral Games, developing, EA published. An idea that you didn't really see out of EA a lot. At the time. It was creative. It was different, it wasn't a guaranteed moneymaker. And then Dead Space 1 made more money than EA expected. So they pumped money into Dead Space 2. And I feel like I heard somewhere that Dead Space 2 didn't make enough money for EA. Like, it was a success. Dead Space 2 was a success, and I think it did better than Dead Space 1.
It's alright, McCoy.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Nothing to be afraid of.
The psychological element.
I knew you would come. Just like you said. I saved this for you. Can I go now? Claire wants to take me. Just shut up.
So that was good until she died and the ragdoll physics kicked in. Like, that entire death sequence should have been scripted, because the minute she died, the ragdoll physics kicked in and her arm just flew all over the place. Which ruined what was actually a really good, disturbing moment. Yeah, Dead Space 2 was a success, but I don't think it made enough money for EA. I think they wanted more out of it for the money they put in. Bear in mind, Dead Space 2 is more action-focused than Dead Space 1. So Dead Space 3, they just outright took the horror out of it and made it a action shooter. These things are in my way. And said, hey, for Dead Space 3 to be a success, we need it to sell more money than 1 and 2 combined. While, you know, changing everything that the people who played the first 2 games liked about it. It's like, oh look, Dead Space 3 didn't sell as well as they wanted. Who would have thought? EA in a nutshell. And they've done it with so many properties, so many companies. Like, hey, why did the studio that EA bought end up shutting down? because EA told them to make a game they weren't used to. Or a game they weren't interested in making. Oh, and then it didn't sell well.
Isaac, are you there?
So EA calls it a failure and shuts the studio
Kendra's
down.
gone. 1 minute she was there, and I can't believe I lost her. We can still do this. Get me the captain's rig codes, and we'll find Nicole.
Looks like the crew barricaded the door to the emergency wing. We have to blow through it to get to the morgue. Get some thermite from medical storage, and a shock pad from zero-G therapy. Should be down the corridor.
Communication is useless in all this static.
Is it weird that there's flies on this spaceship? You'd think insect life would be tightly controlled to the point where it would be non-existent on an airtight ship. Yeah, look at Westwood. EA buys Westwood. What does Westwood do? They make Command and Conquer. Yeah. Westwood creates Dune 2000, which is basically the father of the modern RTX. EA buys them. They put out a few more Command and Conquers. And then EA says, hey, make a Command and Conquer first-person shooter. Something they're completely unused to. Something that Command and Conquer fans have no interest in. So they make it, and it's not great, it's got problems, and people don't want to buy it. Largely because, oh hey, it turns out Command & Conquer fans wanted an RTS, not a first-person shooter. So it fails, it flops.
Hazardous anomaly detected.
There it is.
Activated.
Well, that's rude. There will be no Home Improvement references on this stream. Come on. Come on, sweetheart, you can do it. Break out. There we go. So yeah, what was it? Call of Duty Generals?
I finally convinced Jurgens.
Call of Duty Renegade? Command and Conquer Renegade? Command and Conquer Generals?
What I saw was glorious. Breathtaking. Miners undergoing a transformation into something extraordinary. I must know more. Even as the believer within me wants to become one of them, the scientist needs to uncover their secrets. I need to study one of these necromorphs, as Kind so clinically puts it. I need to witness this infection firsthand. Perhaps that patient from the colony.
So yeah, so EA shuts down Westwood. EA buys Pandemic. What's Pandemic known for? The original Battlefront games. EA decides, oh yeah, let's have a Battlefront style game with one of the licenses we have access to. Lord of the Rings. So they put out Lord of the Rings Conquest. Lord of the Rings Battlefront is a decent idea. I have it on PS3, at some point I might do a stream of it. The execution isn't so great, because in a multiplayer focused setting, there's not a lot you can do with that kind of thing without getting kind of in depth with mechanics. I think Chivalry Medieval Warfare was like the best kind of implementation of that idea. This is where I want to go. And like, I think that was an indie game, so it was willing to experiment more and be kind of janky. And was better for it.
What in God's name is going on down there?
I think that's precisely the point, Doctor. God's work.
I'm not so sure of that. We have to assume that the colony's problems are somehow connected to the marker.
You can assume all you want to. I do not. The marker is glorious and divine. You know that.
God moves in mysterious ways.
Anyway, we'll have it on board tomorrow. You can analyze it all you want to. What are you so worried about?
Worried? Captain, people are dying down there, killing each other. Is this madness the transformation unitology teaches us?
Doctor. Terrence. There will always be risk when the stakes are high. And here,
yeah, thanks, Whitey.
They're enormous. It could change everything.
Some stuff's easier to do that with than others.
And that's what worries me.
That bookcase is covering a door. If you're gonna do something like that, maybe put it back to the bookshelf. Ooh. Yeah, anything interesting? It looks from colony poor quality, but the artifact doesn't appears to be a genuine marker. First found in unitology's 200-year history. You gotta get on board and study the ship so it can study properly. Potential is enormous. Humanity and church and unitology in particular. Marker could herald a new dawn. Dawn of a new age for mankind. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Conquest. Flawed game. Can be kind of fun. I've never actually seen the sales numbers on it. And it's not a game people talk about that often. The next game EA has Pandemic make is The Saboteur, an open world stealth shooter beat 'em up thing set in occupied Paris during World War II. Something like Pandemic had never done. It's worth checking out, it's not a bad game. And for what it is, it's surprising it came out as well as it did, though it does have problems. Didn't sell well. EA shuts Pandemic down. I think Maxis is like one of the biggest sore spots with that. whole SimCity 2013 fiasco. Oh god, these things.
Come on! Let me out!
Somebody's played Code Veronica. I'll be honest though, the introduction of the Bandersnatcher is better. Get up. Alright. But yeah, the SimCity 2013 fiasco. SimCity 2013 launches and is in basically every way a weaker game than SimCity 4 Deluxe, which came out like 8 years prior. Limitations of the system because of the always online demand. Yeah, they demanded it was online only. And Maxis had to take all the heat for that. EA would not take any of that shit, and you know it was an EA mandate. And because of the always online demand, like, that game sold better than anyone expected it to. So you couldn't play that game on launch because you had to be connected to servers, and the servers were full. Because they expected to sell as well as it did.
Alright, that thermite you picked up should be able to melt through the barricade. Use the shock pad to ignite it. Hope I can hold this position. I can hear something big moving out there.
Very limited space in the maps to create your city. You can only create your city within a square on the map, rather than like spreading it out across the whole map. No terraforming options available, which is something SimCity 4 had. Like, it was just a weaker game than SimCity 4. And Maxis took all the heat for that. And like, PR representatives had to go out, like, on stage, in front of people, and say, no, these are good ideas that you just don't understand. That guy had some of the toughest legs. What was that? And like, it was a PR disaster. Always online's integral. There was a specific thing, to take the online out, they'd have to spend like months patching it in. That was an excuse that they put out. A hacker found there was basically just a switch in the code that would allow you to just be offline. Like, it was an absolute mess. I remember this. This is a good horror moment. Like that kind of thing, the psychological stuff in this game is fantastic. The unreal stuff, the stuff that shouldn't possibly be happening. Like, you look at that guy, how is he banging his head against that wall like that? It's good stuff. Alright. No, I don't think Maxis ended up recovering from the fallout of all of that. And EA made them into the scapegoat for it. And then Maxis shut down. Which is particularly crazy considering, like, SimCity 2013 still made plenty of money. SimCity 4 still makes money. There's plenty of other examples you can find of EA doing that kind of thing. The running joke of EA's history. It's time. Yeah, it's a real shame. There are the stories I've heard with Visceral in particular, though. Like, they were making... You can argue that Dead Space 3 was the death knell for them. You can argue Dead Space 3 was the death knell for them. But they were supposed to be working on a Star Wars game. That Uncharted style Star Wars game that was being headed by Amy Hennig, who had previously worked on Uncharted. But there are reports you can find of that whole thing never going anywhere. For various reasons. It just took years for them for EA to officially announce it as cancelled. I'd be down for a Star Wars horror experience.
Your air meter will appear when you are in a vacuum.
Yeah, thanks. Like, you've got a limited amount of air. Let me just stop you to explain that. Gotta focus, because there's no noise in the zero oxygen environments outside of your suit. which means enemies can very easily sneak up on you.
As you know, the Ishimura is able to set its gravity locally. Your grav boots will kick in when you enter a zero-G area.
Yeah, like I'd be down for a Star Wars horror experience, game or movie. I've made the argument for a long time that you could very easily have a Star Wars slasher movie with, like, Darth Vader as the killer. Like, say you've got a big rebel ship or something. Engines are disabled in an Imperial attack. The Imperials go aboard. The Imperials go to board. The rebels manage to cut it off and... I don't know, escape? Or destroy the Imperial ship or whatever. And they think they're safe, but it turns out Vader made it on board. And the first thing he does is, like, disable the engines and communications. And so then you got this Star Wars horror movie with Vader as the monster. Yeah, I think that could work.
Exiting zero gravity.
Alternatively, you could do a similar thing with Darth Maul.
Great. You got
Either or, really.
Combine that with the thermite at the barricade to destroy it. Shit. I can hear more coming. Moving through the vents. Stay safe, Isaac.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun idea.
Exiting zero gravity.
Like, you imagine that, like, Vader's heavily outgunned. Say he doesn't have his lightsaber or whatever. Give him a reason to be, like, stalking from the shadows, rather than just outright walking out and killing everybody. I don't know, I think it could work. Yeah, it'd still be true to the character. True to the experience.
Exiting vacuum.
Stay right there, I'm coming down. Thank you for your patience. There was an interesting idea like that done in one of the Star Wars books. Darth Maul Shadowhunter might have been the title. I think the character's like a smuggler who's somehow gotten information about the upcoming blockade of Naboo. It's separate episode 1, obviously. Harris is asleep, another strong sedative, seems to be unable to sleep without chemical aid. Most people succumb to exhaustion after 50+ hours of waking, regardless of any desire to stay awake. Not Harris. Explanation of events from the colony is also odd, points to the same paranoia we've seen elsewhere planetside. Guilt is not in doubt. 2 planetside security officers were present when he took Dr. Solero. Ciarello hostage and murdered Nurse Evans, and he doesn't deny his actions, but he insists there was no crime, or does he feel no guilt? Classic sociopathic behaviour, Harris exhibits no other symptoms. Affable and friendly, able to empathise and offer original opinions. The question about the murder, however, becomes withdrawn and intransigent. Displaying schizophrenic behaviour and undergoes intermittent hallucinatory periods, similar to those experienced by other colonists. Harris claims he threatened the doctor because he had to stop the dreams and the faces, and he'll kill again to make it whole again, whatever that means. Alright, good. A smuggler obtains information. Really important information that would change the course of everything if it got out. And Darth Sidious dispatches Darth Maul to kill him. And it becomes this extended chase. Like this guy running from this unstoppable monster that is Darth Maul. And like, it's pretty good. I guess I'm thinking an idea like that, but not a chase, just within an enclosed area.
There to the morgue. Remember, the codes are on the captain's body.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan transmitting ship-wide. We need more help. We don't have the resources to deal with this many cases. Nobody would tell us what's happening. These wounds, we are not equipped to deal with this. Get him to the table. Hold him. None of you hold him down. Christ. And record it.
That was Nicole, right? I can't tell from here when that log was made. I'm sure she's around here somewhere.
Interesting that in the future, fuck this shit. In the future, especially with apparently the most prevalent religion being apparently with the most prevalent religion being unitology, that Christ is still part of the lexicon. Although I suppose at this point it's more used as an expletive than it is invoking the name. I guess that makes some kind of sense. Language is weird. Locked elevator. Oh, I forgot about these. The locked doors that require a power node, so you have to decide whether you want to save that power node for upgrading anything on yourself, or opening a door that might not have anything useful. So we haven't seen any yet, we'll probably end up getting into it later. But like, this game is kind of infamous for its death scenes. Like, each monster has like a few specific death animations that it can put you in when they kill you.
Hello? Can anybody hear me? My name is Eileen Fisk. I just woke up in here and everybody was gone. I don't know what's happening. Why did they all leave? I'm going to try and find someone. If you can hear this, please come for me. I can hear scratching in the wall. Hello? Who's there? Are you a doctor? Why is everyone... Wait, I know you. You're Harris, the prisoner from the colony. You killed that nurse. Help! Somebody help me! Please! Please!
Alright. I wonder if those are like the developer babies. Damn! She ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3. That's one of my favorite outtakes from like Rush Hour 2. It's one of the dumbest things Chris Tucker says, and it's just great. You feel confused? The alien horror idea here is decent enough, but I love that it's supplemented by like the psychological horror. Like, look at that guy. How is that guy still alive and screaming? And then like you get a look at her and she's in terrible condition as well. I think we saw she's missing an eye. and it just doesn't make sense. And that can be good. Horror doesn't have to make sense. There has to be rules to it, but you don't have to explain all of it. Further the previous conversation, delay bring the marker over for a day or two. Yeah. Haha.
Science log, Chief Science Officer Dr. Kine reporting. The colony's problems concern me greatly. I have no doubt they are somehow linked to the discovery of the marker, but the exact nature of that connection is still unknown. Almost 40% of the colonists are experiencing a form of dementia. The obvious symptoms are acute depression, insomnia, and hallucination. Incidents of violence and even murder also indicate extreme paranoia. Dr. Mercer has advised that I bring some of the affected on board for study. Dr. Wellen, the planet-side psychiatrist, has reported that his own analysis has been fruitless. I'm hesitant to rely on Dr. Mercer at this point, but I need his expertise. We need solutions, and we need them quickly.
Cool. Do you want to play some football? Get some space. Come on. No. Bad. And now we just start doing this with every corpse we come across.
Codes received, and they look good. Thank God. I'll start accessing the captain's records right now. Head to the tram station, and I'll contact you there. I'm going to find out what the hell happened to this ship.
Alright, what do we got? Zadju pronounced Captain Benjamin Dias dead. Good health for his age. Cursory blood test indicates his leukocyte count was very low. Eosinophilus. Distant pre-flight physical exams show no such problems. Indicating rapid onset. Unlikely this had any effect on his death. Multiple contusions on the arms and hands. Brave struggle post-mortem, slight contusion on the ribcage. His chest was restrained in some way. Cause of death was a single prolonged trauma to the ocular body, which continued through the cavity wall and finally into the frontal lobe, causing rapid neural trauma, a seizure, and death. He was stabbed in the eye. Force required to punch the ocular cavity in this manner is great, with the possibility of self-infliction correspondingly low. Alternatives were record preliminary verdict as unlawful death. Yeah. Like, up until we got close to the window there, I forgot that's where this thing is introduced. You have to start cleaning up. Yes, absolutely get a power node. Hey, Amanda. Alright, I want to get back to the tram, finish this chapter, and then we'll call it for the day. We might be back later. That's something to decide later. That door. Alright. Yep. First introduction to the stronger variety of standard necromorphs, though, with the captain's body. Plus, I'll look into how they're created. Remember Dead Space 2 opening really crazily?
Somehow one of them found a way down to the captain's nest. I managed to contain it in a damaged escape pod. Lifting executive lockdown now. I found the deck logs. Whatever is happening around here, it came from the planet when they cracked it open. It spread to the colony and reached the ship. Isaac, this isn't an infection. It's some form of alien life. Shit, we've got bigger problems. The ship's engines are offline and our orbit is decaying. Get over to the engineering deck ASAP while I stay here and figure out what the problem is.
Alright. Not a bad idea for a horror idea, alien horror coming up from a planet that we didn't expect or whatever. Honestly, the first thing I think of like that is Ghosts of Mars, though. Ghosts of Mars is terrible. Like, I like it. If it's on TV, I'll watch it. If I'm in a room with a TV that actually gets reception. But like, Ghosts of Mars is awful. Yes, indeed. Good times. And that's pretty much going to do it for us for now. I say this new controller is very nice. I said at the start, like, I'm using a new Xbox controller I got. It's one of the Series X ones. Very nice, like the textured grips on the back and the handles and on the triggers. And the new D-pad's very nice. I like it. This is probably going to be my main Xbox controller now. Like, the Xbox One controller was very nice anyway. Good stuff. So yeah, if I have the time, I'll do some more of this later today. We'll see. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for watching. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Clem, Teak, Why Did Bite Me, and Manda. Thank you so much for popping in, keeping me company. I say, we might be back later. If not, not sure when I'll be back next. Probably Sunday. Where we'll be looking to continue Persona with Chance. I don't know if anybody caught it, but as today is the first day of March, we have the new game on the follower goal, Infinite Undiscovery. Not sure what the game in April will be. If we don't hit this. I think it's a Square game. Yeah, it's a Square game. So going off the current thing of the games like last month was Caligula Effect Overdose on Switch, which I feel like is I feel like it's Bandai Namco. Going off that idea of doing it different console, different publisher, different developer every month. I'm not sure what next month's will be. We'll see. But it's all dependent on us hitting 200 followers this month. Who knows if that'll happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it for us for today. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. That's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day. And take care. Catch you next time, guys. Bye.